We are here with an important. I'm excited.
Not to start, right?
I mean, Bill, you gotta tell. I've been pretty hyped about this.
Yeah.
I was like, I know who the first guest.
Yeah.
Because I honestly I don't know how he got started. I really didn't.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. We're gonna touch on everything. Cause I got questions too.
I started flipping my first pack at 16. It was snowball from there.
What's your age?
I was in the game.
What's your age so you know that the statute of limitations? Like,
Right.
I ain't trying to have the feds kick this fucking door down.
Ain't try to diddy you, player.
Yeah, what happened to Hector? Dorsey wanted to do a podcast, and next thing you know, Hector got
Rap snitches telling all their business. Gonna be their own star witness.
Episode 2.
we here.
Welcome back, Ryan Dorsey.
Thanks for having me again.
Episode 2. This ain't rocket science, and we have a guest today, the owner of Water Ice, founder. Very excited about this guest. Me and Ryan, we want to focus a little bit on entrepreneurs and everything, and you being an entrepreneur in the city, I think this will be a very opportunity to really talk to you, figure out how you started. You know.
One of the good things we decided in coming up with this, we don't want to interview Hector when Hector gets that letter in the mail that he can start acting goofy because he just got bought out for like 100 M's or something. We want to know, like, we're seeing you grow, seeing you take off. Like, we want to catch you right now before you hit that point where we got to go through somebody else to get you on the phone.
Right.
At that point, I'm not calling.
That's true.
And Bill knows me very well. I'm
Not calling.
not calling.
Not calling.
The minute you get a manager, well, it was nice knowing Hector.
Man. Getting a manager is a surefire way to, like, you know what, now I'm not talking to you anymore. Like,
I almost had my assistant set this one up for me, but I went straight to the source on this one.
Oh,
I was like, all right, let me get me on.
He did answer answered the text.
immediately? I like that.
If it's right, I'm gonna let it 2 rings max.
Answered I felt very, very. Actually, yeah, I called.
2 rings max. You
Oh,
can't let that ring or go to voicemail.
That's
Yeah.
respect, man. That's
Yeah.
why you're here, to get the
excited,
talent. And you got Hector sitting there.
So
But briefly, we're just touch on your company, touch who you are, introduce yourself, and for the people that don't know.
Yeah, for the.
and I want to start, Hector. Don't give me the. I started in Water Ice. No,
if
start,
you
where
don't, we gonna
from?
get there.
I don't.
You want the introduction or like the origin story?
I want the origin. I want to know where you're from.
We want
So the origin story of Water Ice and how it all started, it was actually in college. It was at Temple, and roommates of mine and myself were like, oh, let's do like an online blog because I want to do a blog. And at the time, I didn't feel like there was anything representing like the culture, what I like. You know,
What year was this?
I'm dating myself now. This was like more to the end. This was probably 05.
Okay.
So it was like, yeah.
Heavy blog day.
Heavy block days. It was like, or like beginning of like MySpace days. So it wasn't like MySpace at the time. You could have like a profile picture.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying, you had to have EDU.
Was it my favorite 5?
Yeah, you put the top 5.
Top 5,
Then they
yep.
expanded it to like 8, 15.
Oh, I meant like Facebook did that. But yeah, I would say MySpace did that.
I'm
yeah.
old. I ain't catch the
Yeah.
Facebook wave. I got it when you can just put your regular email.
Yeah, I had the
Go ahead.
email.
Yeah.
But like MySpace, yeah. So MySpace days. Long story short, I guess going through it, I was like, we created a site, and I was the only one writing from the team, and nobody was contributing, so I shelved it.
Okay.
Then I started doing what do you call it? Internships. So I did an internship at this record company called Takedown Records.
Okay.
So
Who they have on? Who was?
So Bugsy, Snake, Caution.
Okay.
A couple like well-known rappers at the time. This was like when DVD era. It was crazy. They were doing promotions at Palmer's. It was Takedown Fridays.
Wow.
Ace and Capone. And all, so they were at Sigma Studios in Chinatown.
Sigma Sounds.
Sigma Sounds, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to
Darrell.
Darrell Bottom.
Yeah, so I was in the trenches there. Yeah.
Yes.
So I was doing like helping them with promotions, things like that. So I was like sitting there, but the one guy that was running kind of like the operation was white dude, was real cool. I forget his name, but he had a company called Cheesesteak Media. And at the time, I was like, shit, that's such a great name because you don't have to say what it is. You know, it's from Philly.
Right.
You know, it's like, it kind of brands it itself. So I was like, I want to do something that's like, has the same thing. So I thought about what can be Philly that's not exactly says media in it that could work. So Water Ice was the next thing I thought of because if I was like, Premier Philly News Network, no one will remember. You'd be like, who's the guy's name or the network? But if you brand it Water Ice, no one ever forgets. They always say, oh, you're the Water Ice guy.
It's perfect because, like, and shout out to you for that name because Water Ice, say Water. Ryan, say Water right now.
I hate this.
Say
It's
it.
people from like I deal with this with all my Canadian friends. They talk
Oh,
about
different thing.
water.
Yeah. So I'm Water.
Yeah, so it was Water. So it's like, that was another thing,
3
too,
different ways.
Phonetically,
Yeah, phonetically 3 different ways. So like you associated with the Water Ice from the region, and then also that water. And you also spell it, WOODER, correct?
Yeah, because they were saying a lot of times like accents are down, like New York accent or Philly accent. So I wanted to kind of keep that alive and kind of play homage to it. So it was like, so what it was like, and plus it's like at the time I was able to own it, so I got like trademark water ice.
Nice. Okay.
For media and things like that. So I was running with it. Then I ended up doing like working for project manager for SEO company.
Okay.
And I was helping businesses with their SEO and things like that. And then I started, and then lucky I have access to developers that were there. So it was like a company, but they had like a whole section with just developers back and help people with websites. So I got cool with them. So they were helping me do my website on the side. And I mean, can you help me do this? Can you do this? Like setting it up, whatever. So then I got it going and running, and I officially pressed the launch button, I believe, in 2014. So it was like 10 years this April, 10 years.
Congratulations. That's just 10-year anniversary.
10-year anniversary.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. So you said you actually started in 2005.
Yeah, the idea, the concept of it, yeah.
Was it like you were just sitting at home and you were like, I hate the job that I'm currently doing. This internship sucks. My boss is a punk. Like, at what point were you like, yo, man, I could do this. Like, I really can get into this.
Because at the time, I would think I was like senior in school, and it wasn't so much that because the idea of being an influencer and a blog, it wasn't like how it is today. That wasn't a concept. So like I was still thinking I have to do like corporate America, but I wanted to follow a passion. It was writing because growing up I was reading like the Source magazine and WXL. But like when you read the Source back in the day, the journalism was so good you can see, smell, and like feel the room. Like they'll describe like I walked in the room and Nas, it was like the jury day, the AC was blasting. So it's like you could feel it. Like when they were the journalism back then was so descriptive, and I loved it.
I feel terrible. Remember I tell you when you be talking and I be shaking my head.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't read. I looked at the pictures, Hector.
It's all right.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's all right.
Source, XXL.
Yeah.
I looked at.
Nah, I was
you remember the
reading them.
pictures back then?
Yeah.
It was Video Vixen.
But
days.
you
I
had
was
to
looking at
read
the pictures.
Yeah.
You read them because it's descriptive.
Yeah.
Like
I
I
can tell
feel
you
like
all about Bernice Burger.
I wasn't into books. I was just into the magazines. So I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to write for these kind of publications, and I wanted to kind of build a portfolio because I ended up doing public relations. So my first job at Kaiser was a PR company. I was doing press releases, and it was like big companies. So it was like I was doing stuff for like SEPTA, public PA tourism. So I was like I was really doing it, and this was like 06, 07, as soon as I graduated. So I was like, I knew I wanted to write. I love to write. So I was like, blogging is my thing.
And your degree at Temple
Public relations.
was public relations.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
At the time, it was journalism, public relations, advertising. So I knew I wanted to be in that lane, but it's not like how it is now when you see everything with like.
I was about to say, like, because so I was in news for a long time. I'm broadcast journalism major, but I wasn't in PR. But, you got to take those classes and everything. It aligns a lot. And the state of PR now, like, what do you think traditionally what it was when we were in school and everything now? How do you feel about it? Like, what is it? How's it changed? How's the landscape changed?
Well, I mean, then I feel like it was, I don't want to say like better, but I feel like it's more credible and things like that because you have to really develop relationships. But I think now news just follows clout trends and kind of like what's going to move the needle more than like integrity. So it's like they don't even fact check things a lot of times. They're just trying to rush to get out the stories. You see all the time, retractions, things like that. And whatever, like journalism, even now, when you look at like New York Times, New York Post, when social media, they'll promote more stuff like, here's Taylor Swift or here's that, so it's like a lot more soft news, not like they do like journalism stuff, but it isn't like as like, I don't know, hard-hitting as it was before. It's like now they're hitting like trends, like what's trending on TikTok now, what's popping now. So they're more following trends instead of setting the tone like they used to.
Do you think that's a good thing? Like, I have conversations like this, and I think we talked about it a lot. It's like, is it a good thing the way they do with the trends and journalism completely out the window? Because before you had to credit stuff, you were liable for what you said. You had to cite your sources, all this stuff. Now it's like I feel people see something on the social media and now they might run with it. It might not even be true.
Yeah, I don't think because like I go with running my platform, I go with the integrity part because if you notice now, like I never post like things like fights, people on drugs in the street, whatever. There's a lot of blogs or pages that will post like crazy wild, like people in Philadelphia doing crazy stuff. Right. And just to get the clicks and the likes and the shares, and they'll get more followers and more likes. But I stay like with the integrity part of it. And so another point I wanted to do was control my narrative. So if you see anybody that's like black or brown on my page or whatever, any ethnicity, they're doing something like being a business owner, something positive. They're bringing something back to me. Like you'll never see anybody like stealing or doing crazy stuff or bidding or jumping on cars or anything. like I see stuff like that, I have to like it's tempting. Like, damn, this can get a lot of likes, but I pass on it because I know that's not what I want this platform to be. Like, if you somebody like Ryan or who I like our features, like, because he's doing, because I want somebody that's like those 16-year-old kids that see that too, are gonna see this and they're gonna see like, damn, my man owns like 3 restaurants and he's doing all this stuff. Like, I could do that because it's like representation matters. So when they see somebody like you or whoever, they're gonna be like, damn, they see this yourself there. And then I don't want them to see more people acting up. There's enough of that. I want them to see like, oh snap, like I can really do this if I stick to it.
Right.
So one of the things with me, like in creating these businesses and things that I'm involved in, is the creative part. Like I love the creative part of it, and looking at your logo and how you spelled water ice, how you spelled it, like walk me through like the process for you to figure that out, and then finally, because I know when I do certain things, like when I look at the Winston, you know, the running joke with the Winston was I just thought it was a real pompous name, like, and I wanted it to be a bear, you know what I mean, with punching gloves. That's what I envisioned, and it's not that. But when I got ready to launch it with my partner Mark at the time, it was just the name and the font, and I was like, okay, this is it. So walk us through like that process, because your brand is heavy, and then I want to get into like the merch and all that stuff. So walk me through that.
Just coming back a little bit, like when you said the Winston, it reminds me because we did a story in the One Ball. He owned a clothing brand called Winston in Philly.
Duke and Winston.
Yeah. With the Bulldogs. So it reminded me. I was like, that's the first thing I thought about when I said Winston. Like Winston, I remember him.
Yeah, Sean.
We actually did an interview. I was one of our first interviews too. Like, again, black business owner, and I was like, I want to either brand.
Solid
I mean,
guy.
so it's like I wanted to put that stuff out. But to your point, I was lucky enough. My old roommate, he was like the flyer king of Philadelphia. I don't know if you know Sergio. You know,
Sergio did it?
Yeah, Sergio.
Sergio did my first bar.
Okay.
Level 2 Lounge.
Yeah. Okay. So Sergio was my roommate in college.
Funny story, and I hope Serge hears this. I'm in Miami, and we're at my wife and I are at a zoo.
Yeah. Oh.
And we're at this zoo, and we're about to go see this like a tiger. You could pet the tiger.
Yeah.
And they had a whole bunch of pictures on the wall, and I'm like, oh, that's funny. They used this couple as like one of the pictures, and as I keep looking, the couple's more and more on this thing, and it's Sergio's family's zoo.
Yeah.
Where he married the woman, or his wife owns the zoo or something.
So her family owns the zoo, so her stepdad owns it. He was actually in Tiger King, the show. Yeah.
I was about to leave that part out.
Yeah. That's a major drop. But he
I was actually trying to leave that part out.
Yeah. So I went to their wedding. They had like gators and monkeys, all types of
I saw all the pictures, because then I texted him. And of course he called, and of course I got of course you know somebody. And I was like, you don't understand. He designed, Serge designed Level 2.
Like I said, if you had
Recess.
a club,
I'm almost positive he designed
Deco,
Recess logo.
Really?
every
I'm
club.
almost positive he designed the Recess logo.
Wow.
I think so. Either
Mint.
I think it was him or him. He
Mint,
did.
wow.
Yeah, Chris Stewart came on afterwards.
Yeah.
Serge designed Recess. Yeah.
Wow.
He was like the
He's the
guy.
guy. He was the guy.
guy.
Yeah.
Like,
Shoot,
Yeah,
I,
that's crazy.
just by the places y'all saying, man, I remember Mint. So
Yeah, so we used to
places.
promote there.
That's
but
crazy. I
Yeah,
didn't know
so
that.
he was my roommate for like all through college. So like 5-6 years I lived with this guy.
Okay.
So like he wasn't. I think at the time he was already in Florida. So he was like, yo, I'm trying to do this. So original logo, and then he did the revamp. So he did our water ice logo. Yeah.
Was it a long process back and forth?
Serge is a piece of, you know, Serge is he actually at the time he also worked for like Adobe, stuff like that.
okay.
Like he's like
It was like
you know,
one take.
executive, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Serge was over in the booth.
Okay.
like that's one thing, you know, like
Yeah, you ain't have
I
to
don't
worry.
bother him no more of stuff. Like, I never asked him since then, but you just like you didn't have to worry. I don't think I've ever seen him like had to go through revisions like that in my life. Like you just killed this.
There's be certain people like that. That just one time, you get them the vision what you want, they're gonna knock it out the park.
He's a beast. Yeah.
So you picked the logo,
Yeah.
right? And then it was you sat on it. Did you go right away, or did you take some more time to plan and think?
I just kind of was just going with it. I just went with it. And then he didn't do this logo, but I had the other idea with the Ben Franklin.
Okay.
So I did to my other boy, Eric. He did that one because I gave him an idea. I knew what I wanted. And because I know I can interchange the bandana to different things and market it.
Yeah.
But as soon as I had that, because I know I wanted a lifestyle image for merch. So that I know that was going to lead the way. But as soon as that happened, I was just ready to go. I just wanted to write. I didn't care. I was just putting stuff out. I was just like writing blogs. At the time, video wasn't on my mind. When I first launched, it was just like writing reviews and like the best places to get this food and whatever. Because a lot of people were like, oh, Philly doesn't have this or it's boring, whatever. And a lot of people at the time were graduating, leaving school. I was like, nah, Philly's dope. You just don't know where to look or how to look.
Right.
So I would aggregate this information of like local bars and this is like again, before influencers were like coined and all that stuff. So I was like spotlighting businesses, and I was doing it for the passion. I was driving around, and then eventually I started working doing marketing for Keller Williams. And then I couldn't afford a camera at the time, so they had like it was like a T3 Canon. They had for the class in the office. So I used to borrow it at night and like do like interviews and take it back. You know what I mean? So, and like I used to just like use that until I was able to like. But at the time, I was doing video. I was out. If it was any event, I was there.
Yeah,
I had energy.
That's where I met you a couple times. It was different events. You would be out, and people, Hector. Like, so when I got into business, they put that parallel production and everything, and I was like, you got to know Hector. And when I saw you, I'm like, I remember Hector. Used to be out covering the events all the time.
Just for free too. I wasn't asking for like. Now people get a camera, they start. Oh, you got to charge you. Like I wasn't thinking about like.
Why is that important? Well, two things you just touched on real quick. Not to cut across you, but one thing was we were focused on getting stuff out. Like that consistency. You just wanted to get that out. Talk about that, and also really just the consistency and wanting to get that out. Why was that such a thing that you would want to do?
Well, I had to find my voice, find my groove, and find the brand itself. So I had like just put till it felt right. Yeah. So I got to the point where like I feel comfortable now, and I had to like I didn't understand like how algorithms work, but I knew how to crank out content. I knew that much. Like I just loved doing it. And I was like, oh, again, just putting like information out there. So I was just doing that. But I knew how to create a body of work. I understood how SEO worked, blogging worked, because that's what I did. Yeah. So I was just like, all right, I need to be seen, whatever. But I wanted to be seen not as a blog starting up. I wanted to be put up there with the Philly Mags of the world and because I wanted them respect. Because like they're only big. I'm not discrediting them, but like say somebody like Philly Mag or any other magazine or whatever, they're big because like we make them big. If everybody brought their stories to another platform, then that platform would be big because all the dollars and ad dollars would go there. Right. So it's like when I see people like say like artists like they start off with the small blogs here and interviews and then they blow up and then they come back and they only do big platforms. It's like you should go back to the small platforms that made you because like the people will still watch your interview no matter where it's at if they're your fan. Mm-hmm. So like I always thought like that fast one, like, I could still be big as long as I like keep going and I like bring in like the good subject matter and people I can interview that are bigger names and keep going. I could be just as credible as other brands. So I had to bring out that brand integrity. So I knew I had to do that much. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So 10 years, right? Yeah. We're celebrating the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah, yeah.
At what point along that 10 years did you realize I'm in the trenches? This shit may work or it may not
every
work.
Day. To this day.
I like that.
To this day.
Because some people were like, "Oh, it was the one time." No, this shit's
like,
still hard.
Nothing's like set in stone, like you said, until you get like something like first of all, never get comfortable. You know what I mean? Like you never get comfortable, no matter where you're at, because they can be taken away. I don't care if you're established or not. It's like look at prime examples of like I don't want to use Diddy or whatever, but people that fall from grace all the time that it could be taken away any minute. It could be like. I know this dude that's a chef that he was in an accident. Now he can't. Yeah. You know what I mean? So your gift can be taken at any minute. So don't take it for granted. So I'm always like happy to be like on the ground and trying. So every day I can wake up and do what I do is a blessing. So, but I think I'm in the trenches to this day. Like I don't think I'm anywhere near where I want to be, obviously. But there's a lot of work to do. But.
Was there ever a point where you were like, maybe this isn't working?
Every day. Every day.
I might have to switch this.
Amazon, they pay a lot of money.
Because you see like your friends and stuff like that, they're, incorporating and like at this moment in our age bracket, they're already comfortable. The 401s are healthy.
Yes.
The families are growing. And I'm still like, because the fact that, because social media didn't come around until I was in my 30s and like how bad it is now. And monetizing all that didn't exist. Like I got a real late start. Had it been like how it is now back then, I would have been way ahead of the game. Yeah. But I had to start late, so now I'm late in the game. So like, but I think about all the time, like, damn, I could be like comfortable doing this. Like if I just get a job, it's like running a marathon. You know what I mean? Like damn, why don't you quit? You could just get a pizza right now or drink right now and enjoy yourself. But it's like nah, then you won't be a satisfaction when you get to the finish line. Right. It's like if you stick with the race. So it's like I'm already too deep in the game, like fuck, I'm just gonna go out, like my shield if I have to.
Got it.
I got a question. So like, because and two things. This is gonna be a twofold question. I'll come back after you get this answer. But has there ever been an opportunity that like a big company, has come to you with an offer and you're like, damn, dude,
you ain't got to say the offer.
Yeah, you don't got to say. But have they? What was your feeling when they did, and why did you? Thought process. Why did you turn it down on? Because I know it's happened.
Yeah.
or a partnership.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, more so partnership, not really bought out yet. But like, there's partnerships that you just didn't align with what you're trying to do. With like whatever the branding is, whether it's like, because I don't want to like, because like we have a certain like voice and like feel when you're on our site that it'll be jarring if we just start putting like anything like ads. Like you never see like plain ads or promos on our website and things like that. So when they even if they offer big money, do this, do that, like nah, like that's not the way we operate. You know what I mean?
They want to see the Miller Lite sign
Yeah,
wrapped
yeah.
around, flashing. Shit. You go to a Hector event, they got the pins blinking and the Miller Lite girls.
Hit 3 boxes
But
just to get back to the damn thing.
we find other ways we could work together, just not how, you know what I mean? We find creative solutions, but
All right, so
Yeah.
that was going to be
Yeah.
go into my next question is nowadays for someone that's kind of green on how that would like how that would be monetized nowadays. Like, what are the monetization opportunities for people that are putting out content? Specifically, how do you utilize your content to kind of monetize?
I mean, there's so many ways you can monetize, and I guess obviously the simplest way is like do videos and like they get monetized on like platforms, but also through just events or just creating budgets, getting retainers, just to put out budgets. So you got to find what people's needs are, and it's kind of create a solution for their whatever their needs are. You know what I mean? Kind of fill in the gap. Like people that are successful or these people in high places, they're just trying to buy their time back and create, like and grow what they're trying to grow. So if you can just make their job easier and help them grow their brand, in the process you're growing your brand, you're gonna create monetize it. You gotta show that your value is what it is. As long as you bring a value to the table, people are gonna listen to you. Because at the end of the day, no one's successful wants to deal with a fuck up or people with excuses and things like that. So you just gotta like be consistent and provide a value, and it'll come to you. Don't chase the money; it'll come. Like as soon as you find your lane and your comfort zone, it'll come.
Has there ever been a time you fucked up?
Yeah, it was funny.
Every day.
Every day, every day is a learning.
Tell me one where you were like, oh shit, this is about to be a problem.
Like I had like situations where like I accidentally like deleted footage, like on the SD cards and like that. One time it cost me like $5,000. Oof. Yeah,
It's a costly mistake.
and the thing is that they paid me, so I had to like
Give it right back. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, so
So you had to give them their money back.
Yeah. So
you
they
couldn't
like,
shoot. I guess you can't shoot.
Nah, because it was already
It was
like
an event.
It was an event. Yeah.
It's a wrap.
It's a big brand. So it was like that has happened to me. Hard drives has crashed. I have had. I remember the first. It wasn't like a real fuck up, but the first like damn one of them. I was like, we were interviewing Bernard Hopkins like early on.
That's a damn.
So we were at
Philly fuck up.
we were at Cafe La Mode where he's like,
He's a regular.
yeah. I mean, he kind of has ownership, I think. Or something.
He's a regular.
Yeah.
I see him. Yeah,
So
multiple.
this is like years ago, and I had like a shotgun mic on the thing, and my boy Jay's like interviewing him in the corner. It's like the interview's going great. We're like probably 20, 30 minutes in, and then I looked down and I noticed that the fucking shotgun mic wasn't plugged into the damn fucking camera, and I'm like, fuck, the mic wasn't plugged in, and I said it kind of out loud, and he's like. And at the time, he's thinking like nothing was recorded. You could still hear the sound, but it isn't as crisp.
Yeah.
And he was after that, like we kept going, but his like demeanor just changed.
Right.
He was just like, I don't want to be here. These people are amateurs.
They're not serious.
Yeah. Like
Right.
fuck. That was my first time learning. Like just shut the fuck up and go with it and fix it later.
Yeah.
Instead of saying it out loud.
100%.
So you just learn. Yeah.
Just roll with the
Just
punch.
roll with it. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
you didn't press record. Like don't tell them.
Don't say nothing. Just re-ask the question.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling.
And I think we should do
Hey.
one more take.
Hey Dom, is this shit on? Just want to check, Dom.
Yeah. So
We got Hector.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We got Hector here.
technical issues. So those are like those technical stuff that's happened to me. Yeah.
That's I don't know what I would have done.
Yeah, that is a
What's
lonely
his name
feeling,
again?
bro.
What's his nickname?
Ooh, the execution.
Execution.
Yeah. I was just like, damn, I let him
He
down.
might punch me.
Yeah, straight up.
Jab is coming. Jab is coming.
I every time I think of every now and then that'll like pass through my mind. I get cringed. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. I've had that situation, like forgetting to hit record.
Yeah.
And like you thinking, you looking through the footage, like, yo, I got this crazy shot. I know it's in here.
Oof.
I know it's in here.
Ugh.
And then you realize that you're like, damn, I wasn't hitting record. Like that's a bad feeling.
It just happened to me like recently too. Nothing crazy because I actually did that quick video for I don't know if you saw. I just posted Jimmy Garecki's video. He just did a Temple collab.
That is it, yep.
So I was like I did this crazy Jones shots, dope show, and then for whatever reason I forgot to dump it. And I formatted the card, so I missed out on these drone shots I wanted to put in the video. It happens to this day once in a while. I'm really good at it, but it just happens. There were so many shoots back to back, and I just
That'd be
kinda,
oh man, I
Yeah.
got that'd be the worst.
Do a lot of people know that you're still actually shooting things
I think so. I mean, people that need to know.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want to make it prevalent. I don't really like. I used to do like a lot of stuff where like, oh, they just shoot this and that, but I don't do anything like personal shoots, anything like that. So it doesn't really matter.
So I'm not calling you for my kids shoot.
Probably not.
No wedding shoots, nothing like that.
I did like 3 weddings. I hate weddings. I know people here. I know my guys are here that either you love to do it, that's what you do, or you hate it.
Or you hate it.
And like, it's no in between. Like
Zero.
I did it because I knew the people. Other than that, I would never do weddings.
Yeah, I'll never do a wedding ever in my life. I'll never do a wedding.
So your personal social media, like, do you separate Water Ice versus your personal? I mean, obviously, I know you personally, so
Yeah, hell yeah.
Explain
100%.
a little bit, how do you differentiate the two?
I think anybody that owns a business needs to have like their personal and business account, unless it's like you are the brand. Maybe if you're like a motivation speaker, but even then, you might want to have like a burner account or something.
Yeah.
Cause you just need to separate yourself from the brand so you're not caught up. Plus, it's like 2 different messages, 2 different kind of like feels, whatever. Like I just don't want, and I don't want myself to be the brand. I never want to be the face of the brand. I want to create a community, because when people feel they're a part of something that's bigger than them, they buy into it, and then you start building a community. I don't want them to buy into me, because I know people here, like a lot of influencers in Philadelphia, and that they are the brand, but the brand lives and dies with you. And then plus, like if you're like some of them are comedians, but if you're a caricature of yourself, then you always got to be that caricature. People always expect you to act that way.
Right.
Tell a joke, heck.
Yeah, tell a joke, whatever. Yeah, so like be that, do this, whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't want to have any time. I just wanted to like buy into the brand and the news source, and it's feed that, and then have different like people on camera doing different things, whatever. But I wanted to be its own community. I didn't want to be so. I don't. In the perfect world, you wouldn't even know I did it.
Yeah.
I would just be like its own thing, and I would just do my own thing, and I'll just like, you know what I mean? Kind of like Batman in the shadows. I like switch up, but I would never like. That would be in a perfect situation.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real, man. It's interesting you brought up that too. When I first started my production company, I didn't want to pick up a camera. Like I didn't want anyone to see me shooting anything.
Yeah.
Because like I didn't want to be viewed just as a videographer. So like when we came to productions and I had a big crew, we started getting different respect. And when they saw the product, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah. So like it's important to me. That was one thing I learned. It's like you got to separate it somehow, whether it's the brand or your person or something. You got to keep it separate. Now, will I shoot stuff? Of course, but it won't be a wedding.
Yeah.
It won't be, it'll be certain situations where, I'll shoot. But yeah, I think that's big. And
I think it's a mental health thing too.
for sure.
Because it's like being a drug dealer. Because like when I'm feeding this dope, because social media is a drug.
It's a drug, yeah.
And like, I'm feeding all this dopamine out to people to get like them whatever. Right. And it's like you get high of your own supply sometimes because you're in the social media. You always got to constantly be scrolling, looking for news. And I'm always like, and if I didn't have that, I probably won't even be on it like that. Like I hardly post my personal every once in a while if I'm in a project. But other than that, like I like to be in a moment, and like for the most part. But so it's like it's hard because you get high of your own supply sometimes. You're like in it.
Sure.
So that's the catch-22.
I like you say getting high off your own supply. So
because Ryan likes to get high.
Yeah.
So
you never know when you're gonna go.
So my question is, like in my industry, obviously in the bar, restaurant, club business, one of the exciting things is like when a certain person might come through the building, you get excited, and then after being in this for so long, you don't come off. When Hector comes, I'm like, oh shit, Hector's here. I sat with him. Last year we watched the game back there. I watched the game.
We did, sure.
But yeah, so like, has there been an event or a situation in the last, let's call it last 2 to 3 years since you're on your 10th year that you've been like, oh shit, I got invited to the whatever. Like, have you hit one of those yet? Or I'm about to sit down and have a conversation.
I'm about to have dinner with Hove.
I'm about to have dinner with Hove. Forget the $500,000. I'm doing it for free.
It wasn't like so much like the last 2 or 3 years. Or a little longer than that when I was working with Freeway. So that was like one of those moments because like that was another time when I was borrowing the camera. Yeah. I remember I was getting a text. Like I was reaching out to him to get an interview. I was like, he was one of those like miracle wishful interviews. Yeah. And his manager, he just happened to have a show coming up. His manager hit me up, Sherm. It was just like, yeah, we're rehearsing here. Be here at like 8:00 like tonight. And I'm like at work at 5:00. I'm here like, Jay, you got to be ready. We got to do this interview. So we like no excuses. We up there interviewing.
Did you borrow the camera?
Yes.
Oh shit! This is
the Keller Williams.
This is the Keller Williams. Okay,
go ahead. I was at Keller Williams. Yeah. So like,
that's amazing.
Love it, man.
This is the best part of the story.
Yeah. So I got cool with Free. He was cool. he was cool. But I was talking to his manager more, sure. So we developed a good relationship. And like and then he would like do a show and whatever, and I was just doing stuff for free for him. I was just like doing videos. I never asked for anything, whatever. And just building a relationship, he happened to drop his Think Free album, signed to Rock Nation. Then Rock Nation was like, all right, we want to put you on the payroll to like start paying you to do his content. And not only that, we're gonna put you on tour with him and Beyonce and Hov. So I was like on the run tour, like on stage with like DJ Khaled, everybody. And I'm thinking like I started this shit like on my couch. The idea, like, what if I never responded to that text? What if I never did that interview? What if I never did all that pro bono work? Because I always say, like, not every opportunity has a check attached to it. Like, sometimes you make your time is your investment, and that investment paid off in the long run because now I have a great relationship with him. Whenever he does partnerships with brands that have checks, he'll call me to do stuff, like Amazon, whatever. So it's like, there's never expect none in return. Like, I always say, when you network, never ask for anything, always give. You know what I mean? Like when they like provide that value consistently, put that in the bank, and eventually you can't either cash in it or they're gonna reach back and be like, you know what, this guy never really asked for anything, whatever. I mean, like, you know, so it works the way. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but never. I always say never ask for anything. I never like sit around and like go through my connections. Like, what can you do for me, or what can she do for me? I was like, what can I do for you? Like when I said when you network people, like in networking, I'm gonna rant here. When you networking, a lot of people be like, when they say like you're in a networking situation, I'm like, hey, so how you doing? How's business? They say that, or like, how's everything going? Whatever. Instead of saying like, what's up, man? I saw you had this project coming up. Do you have any other projects you have going on, or anything going on where I can help you out with, where I can benefit, or that I can like support?
Major key right there.
You know what I mean?
That's game.
Oh, he's dropping
He's
gems.
giving game.
Yeah.
He's Tremaine's fire.
This is game.
Yeah, so it's
Mano's
like,
gone.
Mano's go.
it
Mano,
separates
you're
you
gone.
right there, because it's like, all right, first of all, he never asked for anything. He's ask me how I can support. Yeah, maybe it's just a share or whatever, or like can you just share my post or whatever? It could be something like that, or like, yeah, maybe put out a story, because like when you start providing value, people start asking for stuff, you get a lot further. I feel.
That's a fact.
That's a super
100% fact.
Super fact. Question for you: the Ben Franklin.
Yeah.
Did you have to ask anybody for that, or you just did it?
Now Ben Franklin is like one of those like common, like I have to say Creative Commons.
I've been dying to ask. Whenever we hang out,
No one owns like the rights to Ben Franklin.
I just always wondered, because when he started it, I was like, did he have to ask somebody for this, or you was just like, mine?
I went to his grave, like, she's the Godfather, kind of. There's no one that owns that. It's like after so many years, like certain things become Creative Commons licensed, and he's like an old figure, like George Washington or whatever. Like, you don't have to ask somebody to do it, stuff like that. But sometimes I think about that with some artists, like same like Monopoly dude that Monopoly does. Like, how does he get away with doing the Monopoly thing?
Yeah, because that's actually
that's
actually
you're selling the art.
You're
Yeah,
Pretty clear.
That's pretty clear.
like I never understood that.
Nah, he gets away with it.
I'm just gonna
Literally gets
leave
away
it at
with it.
that. I'll be.
Monopoly, game of life.
So at what point did you decide to do the merch? Because I remember seeing you start posting the merch.
Yeah. I mean, you always got to, like, that's one thing they tell anybody, whether you're an artist or whatever, like, or a bar owner or whatever, or, like, production owner, is always to have some kind of, like, merch associated with your brand, because it's revenue that you can make while you sleep. Is like on a store or whatever. It's, like, and plus, like, it helps to promote your brand or whatever. So it always something, like, I knew you always had to do. Like, so it wasn't, like, I had to think about it. I didn't invent that wheel. So it was just like, I knew I had to do it. I knew I had to make something cool that's wearable. I didn't want to be a billboard like waterice.com. Right. I wanted to be, Ben Frank is subtle. But now we kind of like not own that image, but like people a lot of times now they'll see it and like, oh, that's water ice things like that.
Identify with it.
Yeah. Kind of
stop you when you're out.
Do they stop? If they know me, I don't really like. I don't feel like I'm at that
in
level.
The back, dog. He's
I'm in the
back.
Like if I like associate with certain people, but I'm not like in videos like that. You know, to be known.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, just not. You're doing a lot of, obviously I follow your career.
Yeah.
You know, we're friends on the outside, but you're doing a lot more speaking engagements.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I just always wonder, like, not that if you're at a Sixers game and everybody's like, that's Hector. You know what I mean? Like,
that's Hector from Woodard.
Yeah.
It's not probably so much as that, but it's so much I've been doing it for like 10 years. And Philly's not a big city.
Big city, small town.
Small town. So, and plus I was in nightlife too. But I was in nightlife for like 9 years.
So hold up.
What I tell
we
you?
got to bring it back here.
Yeah.
We got to dial it
What I tell
back.
you?
Because Ryan the other day he was like, I believe Hector was a bar back. So where was this? Like, just talk about your nightlife. Where'd you start in nightlife?
I'm happy, glad you asked.
I always try to rope it back in somehow.
So my first gig nightlife was I was working in like Springfield at this market research company, and I worked at before research was Lounge 125. and it was a house music, and that was my first bar backing. Was there where Recess was. So that was my first, and
Right in the building.
I left there, and then I was out for a little bit. Then I went back into it, and then I was working at the Penthouse, my gentleman's club on Castor. So it was a strip club for
Classic.
a couple of years. I was just making bank, because like you think,
Everyone there was making bank.
yes, it was
Everyone.
Yeah, that place was wild.
Everyone was making bank.
So there was like 2 of us at one point. It was a lot of us, and then it went down to 2 of us. I was working there, like bar backing, and then but they had like maybe like 4 or 5 waitresses on, like 3 or 4 shot girls, 2 bars, and everybody had to tip us out.
Yeah.
So it was like
The crazy thing about and just to stay at the Penthouse thing, I don't know if you remember what it looked like.
Absolutely.
I was fire.
It had no business being.
That was so
All the way up 95.
I'll
all the
never
way in
forget
that industrial
they
area.
convinced somebody, yo, let's take a ride, let's go to Penthouse, and I was like, why are we going here? And you take that like long road down to get to it. I'm like, we about.
Then you about to get off. You about to. Somebody's about
It's like,
to,
yo, we
like a
about to
mob
get out.
movie.
Yeah.
It's like
Middle of the day,
Goodfellas.
I'm like, you're gonna take me to a diner first, then you're gonna kill me. This is how this is gonna go. We driving down that road, we pull up. I remember walking in, and it was like mid-set where the motorcycle was coming down from the ceiling, and I was like, did we transport to Vegas?
Yeah, the dude that owned it, Alan, he's from Detroit. He's like actually the strip club king of America.
Clearly,
He has the book out and everything. Like,
Really?
it's insane. Like, funny quick story. Like, he had a mansion. He divorced his wife. He bought the mansion next to it and erected a statue with a middle finger directly into the bedroom. And it's like on news. You can look it up. He has like a book out and everything. He owns like most all strip clubs in Detroit. It's insane. Like, in one of his clubs, he was the most Hennessy consumed in any club in the U.S.
Sheesh.
It's crazy.
Wow.
That's why he has all these crazy stats. But he
I didn't know
but the
that.
only thing is, he was like, was kind of like, he's like, we don't play hip hop here.
Yeah. Yeah. I never heard him play hip hop. Towards the, I went a couple times towards the end because we knew a couple people that worked there. They were bartenders, not.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, like
Clear
you're
it
saying,
up.
like,
Yeah, just
we're no judge here.
I'm just going to keep it clean. They were bartenders, they were friends. But yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I can't remember if they played hip hop or not.
Nah, I mean, there was only one time, and it was like laundry night, and it was when Ghost, shout out to Ghost. He used to come like on Thursdays, and he was allowed to play hip hop on his live set. Other than that, no hip hop. And it was. I mean, let's keep it real. It's just to filter the people of color out. That's what it was.
I mean,
it was interesting because, like I said, it literally should not have been where it was.
Nah, it was an insane club. It was. I mean,
it's demolished now, right?
I don't know. I
it's
don't
not
know.
open. It's definitely not.
The building's still there.
Yeah, they tried to put a club behind it too. After I left.
I actually went
Yeah.
there.
So after that, I was gone.
Full on shooting the next night. BT, I'm gonna slap him for that one. Brian Taylor was like, we gotta go check out this after hours
For real?
club. We go up there, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna last, bro. Like, I've been doing the after hours thing for a while. The tension,
It was just there.
and I was like, yo, B, somebody gonna get shot in here. The next night, you heard about it. I said, I told you, man. But yeah, that place was special. It just was in the
wrong spot.
Wrong spot.
yeah.
Wrong spot.
But
wrong time.
all right. So fast forward now, you're a big star. You're how many followers do you have, by the way?
On the gram is like about to hit 142, which is pretty good. TikTok is like not 20. Like Threads is like 24, and like Facebook is like 30 something.
What's the best out of the 3? Well,
IG.
TikTok, IG.
For me, it's IG because I do a lot of articles, write-ups, and it translates better on IG because people can read, and it hits my demographic because they want to read shit. They don't want to be like, click link in bio to read the story. They want to read the story. So I just give it to them, and it breaks up all the videos because every video is in your face, like, like, here's 10 ways to, because like, you're broke. I'm going to tell you why I'm 18 years old, have a mansion and 3 helicopters. And I'm like, God damn. Like, that's how it feels like.
Doing
every
something
time.
wrong.
Yeah, you reevaluating your life. Like,
Yeah.
we're just providing a value where you can just chill, read something, you know what I mean? Something cool. And it's local, so it's like reading a local paper.
Which one do you? Instagram, you said, is the better. Let me backtrack
yeah.
what I was about to ask you. This whole TikTok thing
Yeah.
going on. How do you feel about it?
I'm cool with it, man. Like, like I said, I'm not really thriving off TikTok anyway. But like, I don't know. Like, they had asked me that too. I got interviewed about that too. It's like you shouldn't have your brand riding on one platform anyway. You should be owning your content. So like, my content lives. I have a website. So if social media goes down, I'm still good. I get good traffic to my website right now too. I have a website that gets good monthly traffic. That's monetized too. So it's like, I'm cool, but like, obviously it does help a lot because it's like a portal or windows into your website. But like everybody that's like right on that one platform, like out of TikTok, that's all I do. And then you deserve to go out like sucker shit because you're the one like putting. You gotta like spread it out, and plus like it's like again like the drug game. It's like you get into it, but that shouldn't be your end goal. Like a lot of like the bigger people, they're not stressing either because they already made their partnership. So it should already been a tool for you not to be doing crazy stuff forever. Either get your partnership, build your relationships, and move on to something else that's gonna build you where you don't have to be in front of the camera all the time. So it's like
Another key. Major key right there.
Yeah, so like I already have a good amount of partnerships developed already, where I feel good. Like I make my stuff like outside of like the Water Ice umbrella too. So it isn't all about Water Ice.
It was interesting. I ran into a friend of mine like a year or two ago. He's down in Fort Lauderdale, and he runs social media platforms for some semi-famous people. I think one of the biggest is Skims. He helps out with the Skims
that's awesome.
platform.
That's a major.
But sitting with him, there's like 7 cell phones. And I was wondering today, I was like, I just want to see how many phones Hector carries.
I have one, but I'm gonna probably have to get more because we're actually just launching our creative agency. So like we're because we've been doing it informally for like a while now because every meeting turns into like a consultation. You know how it is.
Right.
And like
Came here for this.
Yeah.
Now I'm giving you
Exactly. So we're like, all right, let's make it formal. So we're actually like gonna officially launch it like next month. So it's gonna be like helping like with small businesses with their content, social and public relations and things like that. So
Nice.
I mean, we've done all those things for 10 years, so it's like we're really well versed. So I feel confident, and I feel like a lot of people pay other brands, agencies, just to give me the work anyway. they're like, here, all right, let's do that, and then I end up with all like the content releases and doing the videos or all that. So it's like, you know what, just come straight to the source.
No, listen, I'm a prime example. When I said, I think I called you, and when we sat back there, I said, when I'm finally ready to drop Ivy, what'd I say?
Yeah.
I was like, he's gonna get it, and then I was a part of something, and you thought that it was Ivy. What?
I don't know what I used to think. I think it was time. I was like, damn, this guy backdoored me.
Yeah, no, it was something I put out. I don't remember what it was, and I was like, no, Ivy's coming.
I want the exclusive.
I was like, Ivy's coming. Don't worry, it's all yours. It's all yours.
Because I got it like when it comes to dropping stories, I like to wanted to be like the first to drop.
First,
people like it. So it's like, and it's help brands. Plus, I want to tell authentically because like I feel like also being a person of color, I deal with a lot of business owners that are of color, and like a lot of times the nuances and things get lost in the translation because like they'll see him and they'll be like, oh, black business owner opens bar and along the. It's like that's not what he wants to do, dog. Like he's just a business owner and a bar owner. It's cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
Black business.
Yeah, I was like, damn, because I have to rewrite so many.
Just Ryan Dorsey.
I get so many releases that I have to rewrite. I rewrite all them shits anyway, but so many titles, I'm like, this is not the wave.
That's good though. Yeah. That's good, and that's good that you're there to be the goalie for all that. Because if you're not, then it'll just be a mess, and they'll never learn from that. Like at least you're there to have that conversation. Like guys, maybe this bar owner doesn't want to be preferred or explained as black bar owner opens informal white restaurant. Like I mean, that optic don't really seem right.
Like I'm not like a Latino blogger. I just like a blogger journalist, whatever just happen to be
a journalist.
You know what I mean? But I just like make sure that, and like I said, like the narratives is straight. That's all.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what you do a good job. I ain't gonna lie, you do a good job. It's been a great seeing. I always like seeing randomly. Like Water Ice, or somebody reference it. Like you see this, they send it to me as Water Ice.
Yeah,
like,
that's good. People always say that. They be like, "Oh, you're out," but it's hard because like when I'm at my home in my boxes writing my shit, it's like, I don't know because it's hard to see the forest from the trees when you're in the trees. You know how it is in your business. So when people tell you, it's great to hear that, but I don't see it because people. Oh, I see your stuff all the time. I'm like, really? But so that's good motivation to keep going.
For sure.
But it's good to hear every time or whatever. Like I don't like relish in it, but it's like, all right, that's cool. It's like confirmation.
No, I can attest. You are truly, you're truly doing it. You know what I mean? Because even just amongst people in the bar and restaurant industry, your name is mentioned first now.
Yeah,
a lot of the times than others.
But I don't get twisted. Shout out to my team too. So like Jay, Farrah, and Lawrence.
Yeah. Not you personally, but the brand. The Water Ice brand is mentioned. Nobody cares about you.
Yeah, nice.
It's the brand.
It's the brand.
It's the brand. Yeah, it's the brand that's mentioned first. And I'm like, damn, he's got. That's why when we talked, I was like, Hector.
Yeah.
I was like, because I remember when Like I said, I told Bill, I was like, he was in nightlife. I'm
Yeah.
almost positive.
Yeah, that helped. I think everybody should experience nightlife or retail to be good in any type of business. I think I recommend everybody. But that was different though. I feel like it ain't like how it was like a different. I don't want to be like and back in my day.
Nah, but please do, because one of my questions is, what's the difference? You know, I'm a patron. I visit
Yeah.
Ryan, a lot of Ryan's establishment.
Yeah.
What's the
Bill
difference you
works
see
for
from
the
back
company.
then?
Don't let him.
I mean,
I'm a silent part.
Like, because like there, like again, before social media, right? You had to go out there and put flyers on cars and really work the beat and really go out to let outs. You got to know who was letting out
let
when.
out.
And you had to, so like, you know, like if you had to like, all right, lyrics lets out on Thursday nights. I know those Latinos are going to be there. And like this club, Palmer's, and I mean, that's my back card. My Asians are going to be at Long's party.
night, Long's
Well,
parties. Yep.
So it's and you knew, like, there was a science to this shit. And then so it's like, and then plus like the crowds are different. You were in the moment. It wasn't and this is like way before bottle service was a thing. So it was like more like, you know, communal. It wasn't like separated. Like you look at any clubs now where celebrities are just like standing there looking at each other. But now it's just like, you know, like they weren't worried about cameras, so you're just doing stupid, dumb, just like having fun, getting wallies, whatever. I don't know. Like you're just like in it, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it was like.
And if you had a camera, you had a camera.
Yeah,
Digital
eight
drone.
megapixels.
You had a Canon. Yeah.
8 megapixels. Like if the flash was terrible. It was blown. But it was the best of times.
Yeah, and I wasn't knowing about your night till
Yeah.
the next
Then
day.
that
Yeah.
right, not
Next day.
during it's happening.
Not during it's happening. I didn't know where you were until tomorrow.
Untag me.
Yeah,
Like,
it was,
but
that was the good.
and the
times.
community I felt was tight knit because you know like they're like come we'll take care of you, come here, we'll go there, we'll take care. AC was tight. It was like you just go around. You felt like it was like a air of prestige almost when you were working. You're like I work at this bar because I did. But my last bar I worked at was Rumor. And it was like one of the top spots. And like you know when you work at Rumor, like yeah, like here's a bar hood. Like, all right, cool.
We was talking about that last week. We touched on it last week. It's like our friend Tremaine, who's the co-host on this, he was saying how when he goes to Ryan's establishments, he likes to know the bartenders, know the security. So, you know, he respects them. He talks to them. That's a lost art nowadays. People
Oh, 100%. Yeah, you gotta work. You gotta like work. How they say like Barack said, I treat the janitor just as much as
Treat
she
everybody
would.
the same.
And those are the people that really provide access because like most people come to the door like I know the owner. The owner, first of all, does he know you? And if he does, he probably doesn't give a fuck. Plus he's busy. It's the middle. It's a Saturday night. He's the last thing you think about. Like you need to be cool with like the door person and stuff. I remember like even in the hood spots were popping. Like I used to go to spot Third Element, Second Cumberland, and there was a guard there. And his name was Beast, big black dude. And like there used to be a line to get in, like whatever. He would just see me because I always like say what's up and be like, all right, come on to the front line. And like those things like that, or like
rapport.
damn, I can't even forget his name from Rumor.
T-Fish.
T-Fish, yeah.
Legend.
Legend.
Absolute legend.
Yeah.
Absolute legend.
So like
Everybody knew T-Fish.
yeah,
Facts.
and that was one thing I regret. I never got to like. I was
What's up,
one
baby?
person I wanted to
Yeah.
interview. I never got to interview him. I wanted to interview.
That'd probably been amazing.
Amazing.
That's one doorman that I would want to interview, and then my own doorman.
I might
Kyle.
fuck around and bring that
Yeah.
and spin the block on that. But yeah,
T-Fish. He's down in Florida.
is he? Oh
yeah, he's down
damn,
in
it might be
Florida.
a Zoom.
Yeah, he's down in Florida.
Damn.
So one last couple questions.
Yeah.
What would you tell the young? Because listen. It took me a while to jump on a podcast with Bill, even though I'm obsessed and I listen to him all the time and watch him and I send him stuff and finally he's like, yo, just stop bullshit. Let's get on it.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of people out there trying to do this. What advice would you give to the young person trying to start a content company or a creative agency or just trying to get into the industry that both you and Bill are in?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just like anybody else says you see on TikTok, where just start. You know what I mean? Just the fear that like everything you want is on the other side of fear, like they say. So like everything. So like once you get over that,
I'm telling you.
it's true though. It's
Clippable clips.
Oh,
That's all
yeah,
I'm
we
gonna
gonna
say.
clip.
I'm trying. I know how this works.
Hex be like, guys, it's enough. That's enough. No one's gonna watch the
I was
interview
here
with all
2
these.
months ago. Why are y'all still dropping?
I'm trying to make whoever edits this job a lot easier to break out the quotables.
Yeah, y'all working right now. The two of y'all are working.
But
yeah.
like, I think like referencing content things, places like this, like do your research, look at what other people are doing. Cause I always say like it's almost like old school. Remember old school used to go on the trip and you used to like before GPS used to have like an atlas.
Facts.
So you know where you're at, you know where you want to go, and you used to have like you used to draw out like and visually, all right. But you didn't have the luxury of looking at your phone, so along the way you have to stop and ask for directions. Like, am I going the right way, whatever? So you need that confirmation. So like place people like you or whoever, like a mentor, somebody in the game. So get yourself somebody who's knowledgeable in the route you're taking. Even though a lot of times your route is gonna be like less traveled because of entrepreneurship, but like get a mentor, somebody that's kind of been there, kind of like so you don't fall into pitfalls and get off the course. And just like research, like you probably know how many points MB dropped last night, but but like he doesn't know shit about you. But at the same time, like that's 2 hours you could have like been on a tutorial on YouTube learning a new skill or whatever. So I used
That's
so
real rap.
so like I used to like when I brought my camera, I didn't know anything how to use a camera. I didn't know anything about editing. I didn't know anything about shit. Like everything was the white balance was off. Like everything was yellow. It was like it was terrible.
How is this? Why is this happening?
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about ISO and like f-stops and all that shit. Like I had to like watch YouTube. I used to spend like 2, 3, 4 hours a night just watching tutorials on YouTube, how to work this camera, how to edit. Like, all right, how do I do this? Like, how do I edit? How to do this effect? And I used to just like bookmark YouTube pages and then get it around. Yeah. And I used to have my own kind of courses on my own and kind of like, so like dedicate 2 or 3 hours a day to learn a skill or something in your craft, in your thing, and then see how other people are moving in the industry you want to do, but make it your own. But also like, again, like just find like somebody that can help you steer with a mentor, I think.
Yeah. Where do you see, you mentioned the creative agency that you guys are starting, and I just want to touch on or ask you personally where you see your company in the next 10 years, 10-year leap, where do you see?
That's funny because I'm actually taking a weekly class, and that's one of the things they asked us. So it was like,
he asked me that last week. I had no idea what to say. I ain't gonna lie.
Caught him.
He caught me like, so where do you see it coming in 10 years? I was like, holy shit, I have no idea. I had to think about it.
Well, I mean, I think one of the first things he talked about that before, because he was actually in my office, like when I used to have an office on Walnut Street, and then we used to do podcasts in there, and we lost it after the pandemic. But my goal now is to actually get a storefront. Okay. I would like to work the agency and the business out of it, and kind of like break the barrier of the mindset of like people have to see like some people's workspaces as like forbidden places to go. Like, oh, he works there, I can't go in there. We want to invite the people in. And kind of like you know, like a co-op working space, kind of work alongside, see us do content in real time, and kind of like maybe like a cafe vibe, you know, so like it'd be like a cafe or a juice bar, and kind of like do there, because everybody's remote working anyway, so give them a space for them to kind of chill out, do what they got to do, and we'll just work in the background, like have this set up, we doing green screen, whatever. While they're doing that, they get to see shit happen in real time, and kind of like, because no one's doing that, I feel, because everybody's like, oh, that's his office, I can't go in there, but we want to kind of invite and make almost like a creative collab space, but like you can work with us or alongside us.
I like that. It's funny. Clients will add, and this probably happened to you too. Can I show up to an editing session? And I'm always like,
oh yeah, that's a little different.
Really?
Yeah, it's a close friend of mine that's a client. Well, a closer friend of mine that is a client. She works at a business, and I'm a vendor for him, and it's like, she just wants to see the editing process, and I'm like,
yeah, and I don't like that either.
Like it's different.
Can I get the raw files?
Yeah, I hate that question. I hate that.
I gotta get the raw.
Why would they want the raw files?
Because they want to do it try to do it themselves.
Yeah, right.
Seriously?
Because you don't want to go back. Like if you have all the files, you're not gonna keep going back to him to do the work. You can try to do it yourself.
Right.
Well, you don't know what you.
That's the whole point.
You don't know what you're doing.
Like, that's the whole point.
But then now you have my files, and I don't know how you're using them. So like now I shot something, and I don't know.
Am I trying to cut costs and take it to like
my
little cousin that?
But it's always making his brand look bad, because then you're using his footage.
Now I'm dicing it up and doing whatever.
That's what's his name stuff. Like, damn, that shit looks terrible.
In that situation, I've added a fee.
Yeah,
essentially,
100%. Yeah. So like, I mean, I'm not opposed to giving it out, but you're gonna have to pay for it.
Have to pay for it.
That's an extra fee. So it's like, I mean, because there's some like clients who are like, I know I probably don't deal with you again anyway, so it's like whatever. So yeah, it's just a fee to go with it, because I'm never gonna circle the block. But like if I know it's a repeat client, whatever, I'm gonna keep that shit.
Because also you want to put out a good product, and you want to control what you put out.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you own the rights to it.
Yeah.
Like I'm filming it with my company. I'm filming it with my equipment. So legally, it is yours.
It's mine.
Yeah.
So get a contract, people. Like make sure your paperwork straight.
Right.
Just like in nightlife, like when the promoters come in, like, oh, you promised me this at the bar. It's not in writing. You know what I mean? So like, make sure.
We are an email company.
Yeah,
yeah. It's circled.
Do people know your background a little? Because like how you started with promoting like Three Nerds and like the Dayload.
Yeah.
That's crazy, because he used to have. He was like actually crab legs at the party. Oh, you can eat crab legs at this party and.
Wait, at Daylo's?
Sometimes, yeah.
There's a buffet in the back. Yeah.
Buffet in the back. Yeah.
It was like
I got there too late.
Externals, and it was like this.
Bro, we did pizza.
I got there too late.
It was funny. We were talking about a birthday party, and I was telling my staff, I was like, we had the mummers at a Dayload party. They were like, you had the mummers? And then they made a joke. You should bring a marching band. I was like, did that to him. I was like, I think I did that like 3 times.
To this day, people were still talking about it.
Yeah.
I was talking about that because like I was when obviously Piazza was in its glory.
Yeah.
And it was just like a different.
Kings Oak, PYT.
Darlings was right there.
Darlings. Oh my
The
goodness.
TV was popping. They should show games, all that stuff. It was like And then
They had
everybody,
concerts, they had concerts,
everybody, I think it was like activated. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
they activated. Now it's a pool.
it's a shellvis form of it.
It
You
really
would never
is.
know.
Nah,
But it's
they
a
got rid of parking lot. Yeah, there's a pool over there with
Those communal spaces are going. Day parties. I don't know.
yeah.
It's not there.
And then it's crazy because like that's our demographic. I was like, I want to go a day party. I want to go home, be home by like a certain time.
No, it's listen. I watched the day parties come and go. They got a dope party called Ditch Day,
Yeah, we don't have a brunch culture.
which is massive. We try.
I mean, like in Philly overall. I mean, like you try, but I'm
Like
saying
party style brunch.
you know, like if you go to like DC or
DC,
Houston,
New
Atlanta,
York,
there's a brunch culture.
It's a
Right.
thing. Yeah,
It's a thing. Like it's a thing. It's like
I
oh,
think
we're
women-
brunching today. And it was
Yeah.
that's it.
I think women do but it's not like a party culture. It's not like that type vibe.
It's
They'll
not the
be like-
experience.
right? It's like 4 of them. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go to park for brunch.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's
That's
like,
it's a turn down. It's not a turn
Not
up.
a turn
Exactly.
up. No.
100%.
Yeah.
Well-
Ryan's got to bring it back.
I gotta bring it back. My
It
last.
rests on your shoulders.
Hey. They keep calling me the Dark Knight. I
Great
don't know.
power comes great responsibility.
This guy's he's a gym maker right here.
Battery in your back, man.
Yeah.
Who would be your goat to work with? We're gonna give you a second to think about it.
Like as like a partnership.
Partnership, like yo, I gotta work with blah blah blah. One person. If there's
One person.
one, I'm not giving you 3. I gave Bill 3.
Oh
Bill,
God,
You
I have a short list.
Said I want to interview Barack.
said Barack.
I want to interview Barack and work with Spike.
Work with Spike.
Work with Spike.
And then
That's great.
Tremaine said Drake, and I was like, okay.
Yeah. But he was right though.
I saw where he went with
He
that.
was
yeah.
right though.
Yeah.
Do one thing with Drake, you out of here.
Oh man. Oh damn. I mean, so it's not a brand, it's a person.
Give me a brand and a person. I'm gonna let you go a little off on it. So go brand and a person.
All right, so maybe like a national like publication or like syndicate like network. So like say or like a streaming service, say like a Netflix or something, and create like a series, kind of like how I'm doing now, just like showcasing. Like there was a good example, like I think it was like Hennessy or one of those brands that did like this cool miniseries in Brooklyn, and they'll have people like showcasing the neighborhood and things like that.
That was on the steps, right? It was like on a it was a musical thing, right?
No, it was just like
sorry.
I think who was it? It was one not Green. It was another DJ that was one of the people that were like showcasing like this is where I good, almost like Fuck That's Delicious.
Okay.
Or like
That was a great show.
that's a
man.
great show.
Action, bro.
Great show.
So something
Reminds
showcased
me
in
of Nicky
Philly like that, but just like Philly centric
Uh-huh.
would be cool, and to have it like a network, like a Netflix, something like that, to like really create like a national platform for it would be dope. A brand. I mean, I worked with a lot of brands. I mean, I did a story with Jimmy Garecki. I would like to work with him because he's really dope. He does lots of great stuff for like collaborations, and also how we mentioned earlier was I mentioned other podcasts was Greg Una.
Okay.
I think he's super dope. When
Does
it
he have a
comes,
pod? He has a pod?
Yeah. All right.
yeah,
Good.
he has a pod.
I thought.
I don't know if he has a pod, but I just know when it comes to marketing, he's probably when it comes to marketing collab. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do it.
I feel like I
better.
saw him on a marketing podcast, but I could be confusing.
Yeah, so he would probably be a dope collab because it's the way I think the way his mind works and kind of like, and it's just like with marketing and like product promotion and visuals is just like top tier, or the people around him are just like top tier.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you for your time, Hector. Man, this is we got a lot of clips.
Yeah,
got a lot.
hopefully. Any more questions? Anybody? How about the audience?
We got a lot of
Got
gems.
any
man.
questions,
Well,
Dom?
you in the back.
We got definitely got a lot of gems, man. I appreciate you coming through, and don't leave me.
Oh, appreciate my bad. That was on camera.
Love
my bad.
that. I
I
love
thought you were
that.
just like.
Yes, because I went to Arrow to go bing, point to the left. While you're editing that. Bing.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'd appreciate you having me. Like,
Nah,
I'm
listen, you're the
honored.
first, man. You're the first.
The first on the first guest on the rebooted. This ain't rocket science. Holding it down for Tremaine.
Trying to set
Johnson.
the bar here a little bit, hopefully. You know what I mean, but I heard you guys like activists coming. Heard is that right? So stay
We'll
tuned.
try to get
We Actor's a very busy guy, but we're gonna try to get him.
try to get him on. I gotta catch him.
Stay tuned because Janet Jackson's official tour DJ and Philly nightclub legend DJ Active will be on the show. So make sure you stay tuned, like, and subscribe.
This ain't rocket science, people.